Hope you're having a good day. We are going to go over your practice test just to make sure we have all the right answers. First thing I'm going to do is show you the answers to the first two pages. A is 3 3/8, B is 4 2/5, C is 5 1/3. Lots of explanations for D. Number 2 is 36/77. B is 1 4/9. C is 1 7/24. D is 7/60. E like elephant is 1/2. Next page. F is 6 1/2. G is 9 5/12. H is 2 2/11. I is 3 1/6, and you can see some work there. And then how you did it. Now the next page is going to be a little different. Hang on, I've got to hit pause. Okay, someone just had to deliver donuts. If you didn't hear anything, sound has to be on. Sound has to be on because I just read all the answers. Listen to what I say. There's going to be explanations verbally that isn't written down. So let's go through the first one. The first one, you notice that there's no number in front. So this simplification just means that this is an improper fraction. So you think to yourself, how many times does 8 go into 27? Well, 1 times 8 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 3 times 8 is 24, which is less than 27, and 4 times 8 is 32. So since 27 is between 24 and 32, that means our answer has to be between 3 and 4. That's why we put a 3 there. We put the smallest one. We put the 3 there. So now we go to 3 times 8 is 24. So you take your numerator, 27, which is too big, and you subtract 24 from it, and you get 3. That's that 3 right there. If you have questions, make sure you ask me before the test. Well, let's take a look at another one, Mr. Bryce. Come on, play well. So what we have here is how many times does 5 go into 22? Well, 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. So I know it's going to be 4. 5 is too big, 25. 25 is bigger than 22. So I have 4. And like I said, we're starting with 22 on top, and 5 times 4 is 20. So we subtract 20. That's 4. 22 minus 20 is 2/5. This is why it's important to know your multiplication tables. Let's look at adding. Here's the work. We'll do it one more time. So what we want to do is we want to find the least common denominator. However, as you can see from my work, I'm not finding the least common denominator. I'm just finding any common denominator. We can take 11 and multiply the first fraction by 11/11. Then we take 7 and multiply the other fraction by 7/7. We know the 7/7 is 1. When you multiply anything by 1, it's itself. 11 times 2 is 22. 11 times 7 is 77. Plus 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 11 is 77. Yes, that's really a plus symbol. Now we have a common denominator. So we add the 22 and the 14. This is adding, 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 adding. So the denominator stays the same. Everything has to be the same size slice. If we're working with lasagna, pizza, cherry pie, everything has to be the same size. Now I know I can't simplify 36 over 77. Why do I know that? They're relatively prime. 36 is smaller than 77, so we don't have a mixed number or anything like that. Does it make sense? Let me see. 2/7 is less than a half. 2/11 is less than a half. So my answer has to be less than one because half of a lasagna pan plus half a lasagna pan is a whole lasagna pan. But I have less than a lasagna pan. So that kind of makes sense. Stick with me. I like Italian food. There we go. Now, I said, take a look at C. It's in red. I just did the second fraction times 8 over 8, the first fraction times 12 over 12. Hit pause if you need to. There it is. I am going to erase that now. Why am I erasing it? Because I'm going to show you, because some of you do a little different. I really wish that Cami had a better eraser. I think there was a better eraser, but it's not. Yes, there is a better eraser. I'm thinking, because this is a thinking classroom. We're thinking. Count by eights, count by 12s. 8, 16, 24, 32. 12, 24, put on the brakes. 24 is the least common denominator. What did we do with the 8? We went through 3 of them. So this one is 3 over 3. What did we do with the 12s? There were 2 of them. So that's 2 over 2. We said the least common denominator is 24. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 8 is 24. 2 times 11 is 22. 2 times 12 is 24. We can add those together. 31 over 24. Remember, it's a bad day, so my internal calculator might not be right. That's why I'm pausing a little bit. So I know that 24, 48. Okay, nope, just once. 31 minus 24 is 7. Good. 7 over 24. Hopefully, that was the previous answer. I want to get the same answer twice. Okay. I turn the page. I'm looking at I. We are subtracting. There are 2 ways you can subtract. One of them is thinking. One of them is doing. At this point, we're reviewing for the test. Let's turn this into an improper fraction. 3 times 4 plus 2. 3 times 4 plus 2. All over 3. The improper fraction. 2 times 1 plus 1. This is a horrible example for the second mixed number, but you can see it clearly with the first one. 3 times 4 is 12 plus 2 is 14 over 3. 2 plus 1, or 2 times 1 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Yes, thank you very much. This is a subtraction problem. We don't have a common denominator. Listen, everything has to be the same size. If we're taking slices of lasagna out of the pan, they have to be the same size. Otherwise, someone is going to be mad. Okay. This one lasagna is cut into thirds right there. This one lasagna is just cut into half. So someone's mad because the third is a smaller slice than the half. So we have to have a common denominator. These are consecutive numbers. When they're consecutive numbers, the least common multiple, sorry, the least common denominator and the least common multiple is going to be just multiplying them by each other. So like earlier, I said you count by threes, 3, 6, 9, 12. You count by twos, 2, 4, 6, stop. We have it there. The first one we multiply by 2 over 2, which we did. The second one, 1, 2, 3. It's the third one in the list, so we multiply by 3 over 3. Okay, let's take this, and we're multiplying it. 2 times 14 is 28. 2 times 3 is 6. Subtraction problem. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. We have a common denominator. We can now subtract the numbers on top. That is 19 over 6. 6, 12, 18. That's really close to 19. 24. Has to be between 3 and 4. Has to be between 3 and 4. So it's 3. 6, 12, 18. I do 19 minus 18, which is 1. So that's 1/6. I am showing you every single step because you don't have the opportunity to ask me a question right now. Okay, number 1 on the last page says 5/8 times 2/3. To explain in detail will take about 20 minutes. So I'm just going to refresh your memory. Then we multiply, we are saying how many piles of something I am making. I'm making 2/3 of a pile and I have 5/8. I'm starting with 5/8 of something. 5/8 of a pizza. That's 5 slices out of 8. Okay. And I'm going to make those into piles of 2/3. So here we have 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 3 is 24. Bingo. Wait, they're both even. Always think. They're both even. I divide by 2. Okay, now they're not even. So 5/12 must be the answer. Wait a minute. Let's just think. Is it divisible by 2? No. Is it divisible by 3? No, 5 is not divisible by 3. 3, 6. That's it. 5. Both of them are not divisible by 5. We are done with that one. If you have a question, make sure you ask me before the test. Now let's do a division question, like number 4. 4 and 5/8 divided by 3 and 2/5. Before we do multiplication or division, we turn them into improper fractions, which means 8 times 4 plus 5, 8 times 4 plus 5, all over 8, divided by 5 times 3, then plus 2, all over 5. This 32, 37 over 8. I'm a little bit sleepy, so correct me if I make a mistake. 15 plus 2 is 17 over 5. Now, not going to go into the whole explanation. We went into the explanation in class. This is just reviewing for the practice test or for the test. The first one stays the same, 37 over 8. We change it to multiplication, and then we reciprocate. We flip the second fraction. We just did multiplication. 185 over Is it 126 or 136? 80 and 56 is 136. Siri, what's 37 times 5?
That would be 180.
I got it. Just making sure. Now here we have an improper fraction. I know that 136 goes into 185 once. And then I subtract the two. 185 minus 136 is 19 over 136. 19 is a prime number. It doesn't go into 136. Nope, just checking, doing my multiplication. And there it is. Remember, if you have any questions, ask me in class. I will see you tomorrow.